Hey, shalom, shalom. All right, before I get started with this lesson today, I just want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rekakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and salutations unto the elect. All right, now, in this lesson, I just want to go into this video. All right, right here, as you can see. All right, and I just want to get a quick second of this video. All right, where Bishop Nathaniel is talking about, Black Jesus. Okay, and that's going to be the point of this lesson. What he said, but I'm just going to get it. Play the little clip right here and then get into the lesson. All right, so let's get into it.
Awful, but nobody says a word. Why is that? Just for teaching Jesus is black? What happened? They used tear gas grenades on the brothers? Is that lawful to do? No, it's not lawful, but nobody says a word. Why is that? Just for teaching Jesus is black? Lawful, but nobody says a word. Why is that? Just for teaching Jesus is black?
There you go, and that's the point of this lesson right here. All right, where he said, just for teaching Jesus is black. All right, now we know, all right, us being in this truth, all right, being in this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, all right, we know, all right, that our Lord name is not Jesus. All right, his true name is Yahweh Shai in the Hebrew tongue, and his name can only be said in the Hebrew tongue, which is Yahweh Shai. All right, and we proved many times, brothers brothers have already, and even I, brothers have proved, all right, that our Lord's name, all right, couldn't have been Jesus. All right, you see, but his name is what? Yahweh Shai. You see, that's where he got it wrong at first. All right, but the main point I want to get into this lesson is how he said our Lord is black. All right, not only did he say our Lord was Jesus, he called on the name Jesus, but he said that our Lord was black. You see, and what he should have said was so-called Jesus and so-called black, as this world would call it, black, so they could understand what they're talking about. If you were to just say Yahweh Shai or so-called black, they wouldn't understand, But if he would have said so-called Jesus, all right, and so-called black, then it would have been permissible. All right, but our Lord he's not black, all right? And so are the Israelites. We're not black. We know that our Lord, all right, Yahweh Shai is an Israelite from the tribe of Judah. You see, in the Israelites, all right, we're not black people. Black, all right, is nothing but a negative name that's been put upon our people by our enemy, all right, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. You see? So, and our Lord Yahweh Shai, all right, I said before, he's not black, all right. We are the Israelites, we range, all right, from a shade of light brown to dark brown. You see, we're not black. All right, I have black shoes in my closet right now, but I'm nowhere near the color, all right, of my shoes, black. You see, and our Lord was not black. It's just a false title that's been put upon our people, a negative title at that. You see, and we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get to it in this lesson. You see, but I want to get into Isaiah, all right, 25 and verse 7. And it reads, and he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people. And what is that covering cast that's over all people? All right, the different, all right, false names that have been put upon the nations of the earth. You see, the main one, look, Esau, Edom. All right, he put this own covering cast upon his own self. You see, calling himself white or Caucasian, because you go back into Genesis, all right, to Cain, he said he was a fugitive and a vagabond. You see, what does a fugitive do? A fugitive seeks to hide his identity. And that's the same thing Esau, Edom, all right, the Edomites are doing today, putting themselves, starting with the elites, they're putting a false name upon them, white people or Caucasian. The same thing, all right, with us. You see, instead of calling us Israelites, which they know, starting with the elites, they know that we're the Israelites, but they put this false name upon us, black, all right, Latino, Mexican, all right, Native American. They put these false titles upon us. You see, in all the other nations too. And another example is the Chinese, so-called Chinese man. All right, his true biblical nationality is Moab. You see, but this is the covering cast that's been put over all the people. That fake names that have been put on the people. You see, our true names are located in the Bible. You see, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans were the Israelites. You see, not black, not Latino, not Mexican, not Native American. You see, in the true biblical nationality, all right, of the so-called white men, it's the Edomites. All right. So it says Isaiah 25:7, and he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people, and the veil that is spread over all nations. So the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is going to destroy this covering cast that's been put over all the nations. You see, and we're going to get back our true biblical names. You see, the Israelites, we're the Israelites, not black people, and our Lord is not black. You see, because as I said before, this is a negative name that's been put upon us. You see, let's get these are like connotation. Matter of fact, we won't get this word connotation real quick. In a Google definition, it says an idea. This is the definition of the word connotation. It says an idea or feeling that a word invokes in addition to its literal or primary meaning. And you can see the example, it says the word discipline has unhappy connotations of punishment and repression. You see, so the word black, all right, has negative connotations attached to it. You see, as we're going to get, all right, in this definition here that I took a screenshot of, you see here it says dark. Here is the connotation or the negative connotations of the word black. All right, and you see it gets worse and worse as you read down. It says dark, dusky, sooty, inky, sable, ebony, dirty, dingy. You see sad, depressing, somber, doleful, mournful, funeral, disastrous, calamitous, sinful, and it gets even worse, sinful. You see, our Bishop Nathaniel, he's calling our Lord black. He should have just said so-called black. That would have been permissible. But yet he's saying our Lord Jesus, black Jesus. You see, our Lord is not black. You see, so are and we know our Lord is an Israelite. You know, so is the rest of us. We're not black people. You see, and when you're saying black Jesus, you're basically saying our Lord is sinful. Matter of fact, let's get Hebrews 4 real quick. Our Lord is the opposite of sinful. Let's get Hebrews 4 in verse let's see what we got. Let's get 15. All right, it says Hebrews 4 and 15. I'm gonna get it in the NLT. Well, it started 4 to 14 NLT. It says, so then, since we have a great high priest who has entered heaven, Yahushua, the Son of the Most High, which is Yahweh, let us hold firmly to what we believe. This high priest, talking about Yahushua, of ours understands our weaknesses. Why? Because he came in the flesh. It says, for he faced all of the same testings we do. You see, because he came in the flesh. He says, yet he did not sin. See, so the Yahushua is the opposite of sinful. When Yahushua came on the scene, when he came in the flesh, he didn't sin. You see, our Lord Yahushua, he didn't sin. You see, so Yahushua is the complete opposite of sinful. So why are you calling him black? You should have said so-called black. Our Lord is a dark-skinned man, dark brown. You see, not black. Nobody is the color black. See, I'm sitting on a black chair right now. I'm not the color of this chair. You see? And so is any other Israelite. We're not black. We're not the color of black. You see, but you see, as you can see, this is a negative word that's been put upon our people, man. Sinful, inhuman. It shows their hate for us. They give us this name, black. Sinful, inhuman, fiendish, devilish, infernal. And you got our own people. They're calling themselves black people and not even realizing that this is a negative word that's put upon us. When you're calling yourself a black person, this is what you're saying you are. Sinful, inhuman, fiendish, disastrous, calamitous, sad, depressing, somber. You see all these words, man. You know? So us here in this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, that believing upon Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, and that we now know that we're Israelites, we're getting away from this word black. We'll stop calling ourselves black, you know, and we're calling ourselves Israelites, you see? But it says sinful, inhuman, fiendish, devilish, infernal, monstrous, atrocious, Horrible, nefarious, treacherous, and traitorous. All these are all negative, all right, connotations for the word black, man. And it shows that, these are how the other nations feel about us, especially our main enemy, which is Esau Edom, the so-called white man, because he put this title on us, black people. You see? And with you, Bishop Nathaniel, calling our Lord black, and then calling him the wrong name, you in the complete wrong, man. Yahushua was without sin. He was without sin. You see, as it says here, black says sinful. So when you calling our Lord black, and you basically saying he's sinful, he's inhuman, fiendish, devilish. You see? But that was pretty much it, man. I believe that was it. I got every precept that I had. So our Lord, first and foremost, his name is not Jesus. All right, it's Yahushua. All right, he's not a black man. We say, us here at GMS, we say so-called black. All right, because that's what this world would call us, black people. You see, so they can get a good image. But our Lord, he ranged from he was a dark-skinned man. All right, a dark brown man. You see, and so is all the Israelites. Our Lord is an Israelite too. But all the other Israelites, you see, we're all ranged from colors of dark brown to light brown, man. We're not black, you see. So that was pretty much it. With that, just want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rachakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and salutations unto the elect.